Thank you for joining us on our journey in learning how to use the computer. In this video, we will be learning about the computer keyboard. Come join us on your pathway to knowledge. In order to input any information into the computer, you will need to use the keyboard. When learning to type, the first step is to place your fingers on what is called the home row. This is the row of keys where your fingers will rest when you are not typing. Home row is a reference point from which all other keys can be reached. You can find the home row on the second out of the 3 rows of letters. From left to right, the letters start with A and end with L. The row also includes the caps lock on the left, and on the right there is the semicolon, apostrophe, and the enter button. Your left pointer finger should rest on the F key and your right on the J. There are tiny bumps at the bottom of the keys to help you find your place on the home row without you having to look. Directly above the letters on your keyboard will be the number row. The row starts with the escape key and then has the numbers 1 through 9 in order, followed by 0, dash, equals, and then the very important backspace. Also important to note is the special characters that can be accessed when holding down the Shift button and pressing a number or the dash or equals buttons. The special characters that live under each key are usually labeled under or above the primary key. So under or above the number 1 label, you will see an exclamation mark. And for the number 2, there is an @ sign sharing the button. For example, when you are typing out an email address on your computer, you will type the @ sign in the email by holding down Shift and simultaneously pressing number 2. As we just discussed, holding down the Shift key while pressing a number key types the special characters under the number. Also, holding down the Shift button while pressing a letter key capitalizes the letter. The backspace is a button you use to correct errors. Press once to erase one character of what you typed. If you hold it down, it will continue to erase characters. The spacebar is the longest button at the center bottom of the keyboard where your thumbs should rest. If you press it once, it will input one blank space of text. This is how you create spaces between words and sentences. For the enter button, pressing once will input the line of data or the command that has just been typed. For example, if you type something into Google search, you can press enter to execute the search. It can also bring you to the beginning of the next line of text. The escape key, normally labeled ESC, can be used to interrupt or cancel the current process or running program, or to close a pop-up window. Pressing the tab button once types a blank space larger than the spacebar would type. Pressing the caps lock once turns on continuous capitalization for letters. You must press the caps lock again to turn off capitalization. It does not affect numbers. This should be used for instances of long strings of capitalization. For maximum efficiency, you should use the Shift key when you want to capitalize only one letter at a time. Capitalizing an entire sentence is usually read to mean that the person is shouting and can be considered rude to do on the internet. So be sure to press the caps lock again when you are done using it to return letters to lowercase. The control button, often shown as CTRL on the keyboard, is meant to be pressed at the same time as other buttons to trigger a shortcut. A common example would be holding down Control and then pressing down the letter Z once to use the shortcut Edit Undo, which takes you back one step in whatever you have input into your computer recently. The more you practice typing, the quicker you will get, so don't get discouraged. Finding the characters you want will become progressively more intuitive as you develop a familiarization and muscle memory. Many people can type for long periods without ever looking down at their fingers or the keys. The only way to get faster at typing is to practice, practice, practice. There are websites that offer free typing games for practice, such as freetypinggame.net and monkeytype.com. Writing emails also makes for great practice. You can continue your keyboard lessons with HCPL's free resource LinkedIn Learning. edu.gcfglobal.org is an excellent free resource for guided lessons on learning the letter keys gradually. You can find links to these resources in the description below. Thanks for joining us on your pathway to knowledge.